this little introduction to light language. Yes, what is light language? What can I use it for? How does it work? The the answers to these questions are hard to put into words, but I will give it a go. Light language is actually very easy. Children often learn it in no time at all. So you see that an attitude of playfulness, openness, and wonder is conducive to learning light language. On a very basic level, we can say that we send out or transmit from our third eye concepts on a certain frequency level. And when I say concepts, I mean we no longer think in a two-dimensional, but in a three-dimensional level. We do not think in duality of right, wrong, and good, bad, or yes, no, but we think in holistic concepts. We think from a consciousness that is committed, absolutely committed to the highest good of all. And the highest good of all means I can only be doing well. I can only be happy if the people around me are also doing well. And if I live in a miserable ghetto, I'm not doing as well and can't be as happy as when I'm living in a beautiful place surrounded by beautiful people. Yes, here are just a few examples of how I and others have used light language. I often created a light language grid for girls for their math grades so that the grades will improve. This is all about girls easily understanding mathematical concepts, and I had a 100% success rate. The great thing about this example is that the proof is in the grades that the girls received. When I create a light language grid to raise my self-esteem, the result cannot be measured so easily. But the person themselves, though, absolutely feels it. Another example, a friend won a rather hopeless lawsuit by using light language. And then there was the time that the horses escaped on the farm where I was staying, and I have no clue how to deal with horses. But I do know about light language, and so I was able to stop the horses in their tracks until the owner could be reached. In winter, when it's icy, I use light language to avoid slipping. A friend of mine has used light language to call her dog back when the dog began chasing squirrels and deer. And a fabulous way to using light language is when I am looking for my keys or anything else. When I first learned light language 18 years ago, I could find things like keys within 24 hours. Now, finding objects very often is instantaneous. And this is not just about finding objects, but also about finding thoughts, remembering things. And I can use light language not only for myself, but also for other people. Someone tries to remember, what was I going to say? How did that work? And I send them light language. They don't know, of course, about it, but the people remember instantly. I also remember this one time sitting in the underground in London, and a nervous old lady was sitting opposite me, clutching her handbag. I sent her some light language, and she began to smile to herself and visibly relax. Now, I'm often asked in this context if this is not manipulative. And here is how it works. I can compare sending the lady Lightlanguage to sending her a smile or saying a few friendly words to her. And thus she can accept or not accept and deal with it in whatever way she wants to. It's just an offer, just a gift. Another example, there are always relationships that need healing. Maybe the relationship with parents or your children or friends, colleagues, or your partner. And here I stress again that the healing of relationships is always for the highest good of all, for the highest good of both, and not to fulfill one's own wishes or one's own expectations. So if you try to bring back a former partner against the partner's will, it just won't work your way. It it is more likely, or it has happened this way, that the partner will return for 2 weeks and then move on again. And there will just have been another round of non-healing happening. Yes, these were a few examples. The concepts we work with are perfect. They come from a higher level, a level of perfection. Anything in our 3D material world is not perfect. So let's look at how this works. You may want to just close your eyes for a moment. Cube. You are within a cube. The cube has a square floor, a square ceiling, and 4 square walls. It is absolutely perfect. So perfect. So exact. Nothing like anything we know from 3D reality. Such is its perfection. What does the cube feel like? What does it feel like sitting in the cube? Maybe you can feel, sense the clear boundaries established by the cube, the firm stability. So now we have created a concept for stability, a form for the concept of stability. We are sitting in the cube. Now we can add a color to this form. Let's take brown. Brown like Mother Earth. Brown, a sense of safety. A brown cube. You are sitting in a brown cube. Safety and stability. Now let's change the color of the cube. Let's sit in a white cube. White, the concept of unity, of purity. A white cube. And surely everyone can perceive that this cube feels quite different. Maybe you sense a feeling of stable, enduring unity. You can open your eyes again whenever you are ready. So, most people live in one reality, and some people have learned to impact, to influence this reality. Others are masters of a variety of realities. With Lightlanguage, we create our reality together with the universe and together with the highest good of all. Through light language, our intentions become embodied. I've been teaching light language now for over 12 years, transferring the knowledge through my aura, through my energy field. This is an easy, playful way of learning where the analytical mind and the creative mind work hand in hand. In Light Language 1, we learn to direct the energy in our chakras in such a way that they are stable, balanced, and beneficial to us. We also learn to create states of beingness such as certainty or truth. In Light Language 2, we work with processes. So that is anything that takes a certain amount of time. For example, healing a relationship takes time, or finding a new home. This is a process over time, or increasing one's self-esteem. In Light Language 3, you receive well over 200 downloads and weave them into grids that work on your blueprint of life. So these grids are often about mastery of something. There is no linear timeline to these grids. For example, mastery of psychic vision, or it could be about consciousness or relationships on a fundamental level, or musicality. I think everyone can sense that light language carries a very pure and sacred energy. Sensitive people, peaceful people, people with a higher awareness tend to easily learn light language. And so light language is sometimes referred to as sacred geometry or the language of the gods. Light language was transmitted to me through the Mexican lineage of healers into which I was accepted. And it is said that the Mayans of this lineage were taught this light language by a little man who fell from the sky. Who was this little man? An angel, an extraterrestrial, a god? In any case, light language is a peaceful language for people with higher consciousness. You could say it is a form of telepathy, a communication without words, a co-creation of reality together with the universe for the highest good of all. Yes, I do love light language, particularly because of its purity and its high vibrations, but also because it has helped me so often to bring things back into balance. I hope this little introduction into light language, this brief shower of light, has opened you to see that you have still untapped abilities, phenomenal untapped abilities. And for anyone interested in the light language that I teach, we have a course in Germany from November 26th to the 30th. And if you can make it, you're most welcome to join. There will be more courses next year. And if you want to make sure you hear about them when they are announced, it is best to just subscribe to my newsletter. So thank you to all who are listening now or listening later. And thank you to all my teachers. Thank you. Thank you. Deep gratitude to all who have passed this on.